Yes, I'm looking more and more disheveled in these videos as time goes on. I don't have time to get ready. There are things that we must discuss before I forget my thoughts. Don't look at my hair. I've been saying today is hair day for the past 2 days, and neither of those 2 days have been hair day. Anyway, to the point of this video. So a lot of you by now have probably heard that Jimmy Kimmel has been fired for basically saying things that Charlie Kirk has already said. And a lot of people are freaking out. A lot of people are freaking out. They're like, oh my gosh, clearly we don't have freedom of speech. Oh my God, clearly it's all gone to shit. Oh no. Egad. If we can't even make jokes on television anymore, then what are we supposed to do? Oh, America. Oh, First Amendment. Oh, free speech. And to you, I say, welcome. Welcome to the party. Remember what I said, what I've been saying for years at this point? Oh, there's stuff on my eye. It's not that. That's not what I've been saying. Of what happens to the most marginalized of us will eventually happen to all of us. Black people have been talking about censorship, especially with the rise of not just social media, but more specifically TikTok, since TikTok's inception. Now, a lot of Black people have been raised under this phrase. It's also iconically coined, not coined, but like popularized in Scandal when Papa Pope talks to Olivia and says, remember what I told you. That's my Papa Pope voice. We're going to have to deal with it. When he was like, remember what I told you. And she said, you have to be twice as good. And he said, to get half as much. And it's not just having to be half as good to get twice as much. You have to be twice as good, and you have to toe this incredibly fine line of doing the dance for white people, of being just personable enough, but not too much that way, especially if you're a Black woman, you come off as flirty. You have to be direct, but not too direct to make people uncomfortable, and then all of a sudden your job is out of order. You have to speak out and say your truth, but not too much, or else you'll be fired from your award-winning TV host position. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. What happens to the most marginalized of us will eventually happen to all of us. Everyone else is just barely getting the tip of the iceberg of the Black experience. Now, I'm going to be showing a couple articles in a hot second to validate my claims and more, but you might think, Shayna, why are you smiling? Shayna, this is nothing to smile about, and you're right. This is nothing to smile about. It's never been anything to smile about. I'm just hoping that now, since we're all getting on the same page, we're not all actually on the same page yet. People are truly maybe in the prelude, but we're getting to the same page. I'm just hoping that folks are now finally going to be angry enough to have their eyes open wide enough to do something about it. Because as we have seen, and as we will see, and as I will discuss more of in this video, Black people, especially Black women, people are used to our rage. People don't take us too seriously when we say, hey, this is a thing that's happening to us, and I think that we should all be concerned. But now, oh my goodness, their dearest white man, Jimmy Fallon. Now maybe people will mobilize. I don't know if you guys remember this moment in time, but I sure do. Just 1 year after the TikTok boom, just 1 year after 2020, just 1 year after people started saying, dare I say an obvious phrase of Black Lives Matter, the suppression began. Fed up with TikTok, Black creators are moving on. This was made in 2021. Long before he joined TikTok, Charles Oh my God. This is what happens when you just woke up. Charles Conley, my God, loved superheroes. When he was growing up, Batman was his favorite among many, but one thing always bothered him about the comics and blockbusters he devoured. When it came to people of color, we got relegated to the background. So what did homeboy start do? Basically, he started talking about it. started talking about the obvious thing that we all have been paying attention. But Conley's posts on the short video app were regularly met with racist comments. Viewers would call him monkey and the N-word, he said. In a private message, a user told him to kill himself. He began to suspect that trolls were mass reporting his videos, a common concern. Yes, as somebody that has been mass reported off that app, I mean, I still post my little tee-hees every now and then, but I'm so far beyond. Sorry, I will get to my side of this. We're focusing on Charles for right now. In an effort to get them taken down, videos in which he called out other accounts' racist posts would get flagged for harassment or bullying or hate speech and be removed from the app, he said, while the posts he was criticizing stayed up. Eventually, his account was permanently banned for multiple unspecific community guidelines violations. Does this sound familiar? Oh, what is that? There we go. Does this sound familiar to anybody? Does this sound like an experience that might be happening to many other people right now? There was a Black woman creator a few years ago who was not just run off of TikTok, but she was also doxxed. She was also fired from her job as a professional therapist. The amount of hate that she received was so bad that she basically had to go into hiding. All because she said Black men need therapy. Y'all know Selena Regina? I don't even know what number account she's on because of the amount of times that she has been mass reported. There are countless Black women, more specifically, that I can refer to, who speak about what is going on politically and sociopolitically among marginalized groups and how that affects us, who have been living in this regularly, who talk about it regularly. And I guess people just assume that this is part of the Black experience, but guess what? Not anymore. Oh, but Shayna, this is about TikTok. This is about that little dancey dance app. I mean, we don't dancey dance so much anymore, but this is all about an app. What on earth does this have to do? Here we are. This is relatively new. A Washington Post columnist, says she was fired for social media posts after Kirk was killed. This was the last Black journalist, Black columnist at the Washington Post. This is her. But guess what? She's also just one of many. Remember Joy Reid? She was fired immediately after Homeboy took office and his admin took office. Yes. The basic criminalization of DEI efforts. The fact that so many of those jobs were held by Black and marginalized people who were just like calling out racism and problematic behaviors in workspaces. Well, in a way, isn't Jimmy Kimmel and all of these other comics just calling out racism and or problematic behaviors in a funny way on national TV? Hey, guess what? What happens to the most marginalized stuff? And now you could see me in my full glory. Once again, don't look at it. Until the majority of the population takes the pain and suffering of Black people, especially Black women, seriously, they are consistently going to be surprised at the treatment that they will be receiving as we fall deeper and deeper into fascism. None of this is new. All of this has been happening. A lot of folks think that this is a tsunami, a surprise tsunami of legislation, of fascism, of authoritarianism. A lot of people think, oh my goodness, the water receded and the tsunami's here and it only took 5 minutes. We've been drowning, babes. We've been drowning. And unfortunately, because we've been drowning for so much longer, mind you, we've been drowning and calling it out, saying, hey guys, the water's above our noses. But nobody's really been caring, so we had to figure out ways to swim. We had to figure out ways how to make life rafts. We had to learn how to make cities on top of the flood. Meanwhile, people are out here being like, are you seeing this water? Why isn't anybody talking about this water? Folks make me tired. but also it's the morning, so I should get up. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments, and please, for the love of God, stay safe out there. So I don't usually put the update in the same video, but it took so long for this video to come out that the update is here. After the protesting and everybody canceling their Disney cruises, their Disney vacations, their Disney excursions with their 70 billion friends that are all Disney adults that will buy every last Minnie Mouse crown that is within an earshot, an eye shot. Disney lost about $4 billion, and they were like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Jimmy Kimmel, he's coming back. A Band-Aid over a gaping wound that is killing America. Do not be distracted. Do not say, oh wow, we won. Let me go re-download Disney. Let me go rebook that cruise. Let me go call up my 14 Disney adult friends so that way we could go on that mountain thing again. Don't turn Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, I think it's Jimmy Kimmel. Don't turn Jimmy into the Trojan horse that you used to let the enemy back in. Everything that I said in the first part of this video still stands. All of those Black women journalists that were fired for speaking out about the rampant issues, totalitarianism, fascism, Charlie Kirk, all these other people, all of them lost their jobs. The public outrage wasn't quite there, even slightly there, honestly. So you re-downloading all of these things, resubscribing to the massive power hoard that is Disney, like, and other corporations like this, it's not moving the needle forward. And there's a lot of people that have come online recently talking about how uncomfortable it was and how, oh, well, like, what am I supposed to do now that I don't have Disney? The Montgomery boycott lasted months, guys. The bus boycott. People boycotted buses for months. Find another streaming service. Go outside, meet somebody, make a friend. I don't know. Just don't do it. Just don't download Disney. This is arguably one of the easiest means of protest that anybody can do. Just not watching a thing on TV. Not spending hundreds of dollars on a vacation. There are so many other places to vacation. Pick another one. Really want to go to Florida that bad? Florida? At the end of the day, they still already did this to Black women. They didn't see the outrage in it. They know that there will be no outrage on it. They tried to push the needle further to do it to a white man that is a public-facing figure. Mind you, these other Black women, they were public-facing figures also. It was fine. Did it to a Black man. Everybody's in an outrage. Oh my God, the poor white man. They said, all right, we went a little bit too far. We're just going to dial it back a little bit. We'll just keep removing the rights of the marginalized people and the women and the not white men, and everybody will be as silent as they were before. All right, great. Now everything is solved. We'll get our customers back. We'll get our fan base back. We'll get our subscribers back. Now we know that we need to take a lot more time before we go after the white men. Yeah, that's the answer to the problem. That's their answer to the problem. Don't let that be their answer to the problem. To disrupt a system, we literally have to disrupt a system. And there are very few systems that are as thorough and long-reaching and old in time and deep in roots as Disney. And that system has been disrupted, so much so that Homeboy's got his job back basically within the week. It works. Don't stop doing it because you see that it works. The earthquake is still coming. People like Jimmy Kimmel are not safe when it comes to their jobs anyway. Like, we Black women, within this space anyway, let's talk about within the space. Black women comedians and journalists and people that have been signed to larger brands and whatever. Canaries in the coal mine. When we started getting taken out of these spaces, canaries in the coal mine. When Jimmy Kimmel left, they took the canaries out of the coal mine. We were already singing, hey, listen, earthquake's coming. Something's going to rumble. Rumbling came. Some people got injured. They said, oh my God, that's crazy. They're not even thinking about the canaries at this point because they're used to the silence. But they're like, oh my God, that was so bad. Now, does it make sense to go back into the mines? Would it make sense to go back into the mines? Maybe at some point somebody would be like, where were those canaries that usually warn us about these kinds of these are the kind of questions that I would like for us to be asking, so that way we can make better decisions moving forward. Those are all of my thoughts. I am going to go and order some food. Let's hear your thoughts. Please type them in the comment section. Stay safe out there. Stay sane out there. I adore you. Mwah! See you later. Bye.